Hard times have come. Here, but now they're gone. Seasons don't fear the reaper, nor do the wind or the sun or the rain. We can be like they are. Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Baby, take my hand. Don't fear the reaper. You'll be able to fly. Valentine is done. Here, but now they're gone. Romeo and Juliet are together in eternity. Romeo and Juliet, and women every day. And Juliet, and women every day. Like they are. Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Baby, take my hand. Don't fear the reaper. You'll be able to fly. Don't fear the reaper. Baby, I'm your man. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Blood on their hands, a serpent's breath, four shadows left in a house of death. A pack of wolves in a kangaroo court. Truth gets lost in a locked report. Moscow after midnight, blood on the rail. Every liar's hand on the killer's veil. The truth's a ghost in a phantom crowd. No one's innocent with silence this loud. Frat boys swear on a broken vow. Pi Beta whisper she lied anyhow. They're gonna get you said where the cameras sink. When timelines converge, don't blink. Moscow after midnight, blood on the rail. Every liar's hand on the killer's veil. The truth's a ghost in a phantom crowd. No one's innocent with silence this loud. The Orion's knife, the driver's call. Grub truck Mac for the students' fall. They fed pain a name, they fed him a lie. The hangman's rope fits the one innocent guy. Moscow after midnight, blood on the rail. Every liar's hand on the killer's veil. The truth's a ghost in a phantom crowd. Everyone is guilty with silence this loud.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I wanted to share something with you. So I've been studying to be a life insurance agent, and when I was going through the manual and studying everything for the exam, there was something that struck out to me. It said for a fraternal organization to get life insurance, they have to be ritualistic. They have to practice rituals, right? So this is like the Freemasons or the Masonic lodges and stuff like that. They are ritualistic, obviously, right? Also, the fraternities in the colleges, right? So what what rituals are they doing? Where they're doing rituals of embarrassment, right? They're embarrassing you, they're hazing you, they're doing all of these things, like, you know, either sexual or embarrassing you, fraternities and sororities, right? So be mindful that these organizations that you're a part of, right? You're going to college, you want to be accepted by everybody, but you're part of a fraternity or a sorority that is partaking in rituals, all right? So just be mindful, like that's literally on paper. They have to do rituals, okay, to be considered a fraternity or a sorority. So that's my little tidbit, all right?
Let's begin with the clock. Its hands don't deceive. DM claims she saw him at 4:20. She swore to believe. 3 feet from her door, masked in black, but the car they alleged was his, caught on a different track. 4:20 at 47. The timestamp's cold glare. 27 seconds to vanish. The math isn't there. The FBI's test showed 49 seconds required. 22 lost to thin air. The truth's been rewired. Objection, the gears don't turn. The timeline is broken. The jury must learn. No phantom, no ghost could outrun the light. The state's case collapses in the starkness of night. They built their foundation on a 2 a.m. lie. All home, all asleep, but the grand jury cried, why? X and E, out past that hour. Their alibi shattered, the state's lost its power. The PCA's page is now riddled with holes. Law enforcement or witnesses who misled their roles. If the roommates' accounts contradict what's been sworn, how can you trust any truth they've adorned? And Bethany's voice drowned in the fray. Her 911 call buried, her words turned to clay. Something's wrong here, she said, but they muted her plea. Why silence the witness who holds the real key? Objection, the gears don't turn. A timeline is broken, the jury must learn. No car, no weapon, no path through the dark. The state's case dissolves with no credible mark. They'll claim he's a killer with blades in each hand, yet experts have spoken, their proof won't withstand. 2 distinct weapons, 4 lives torn askew. The wounds tell a story no lone man could do. X and D were attacked side by side, a feat requiring 2, yet they blame just one guy. The state scoffs at science, says he's Michael Myers, but this isn't fiction, they're fact deniers. No blood in his car, no prints on the steel, no murder weapon, just smoke, no ordeal. A mask and a theory, no substance, no thread. If you convict now, it's fear you've been fed. Objection, the gears don't turn. A timeline is broken, the jury must learn. When doubt shouts louder than their hollow decree, vote not guilty, let justice break free. Ladies and gentlemen, the law demands truth, not shadows and more. So heed the clock's whisper and acquit, nothing more.
Dun, dun, dun. Good evening, my beautiful crime family. This is going to be quite a show that we have coming up. This is part 1 of 3 parts that will be on tonight, Wednesday night, I do believe, and Friday night with a special guest. We have special guests tonight, and then Friday we're going to have a very special guest. I'll get into that a little bit later, possibly. But anyway, I do want to say hi to the crime family real quick here because we have it's going to be a long show, I do believe, I think. So I want to, best of me, my girl, good to see you. Makeup Queen, good to see you. Kay Bass, good to see you. Pammy B, good to see you. Joe P, good to see you. Christy Angel, good to see you. And Twat Waffle, my girl, good to see you. And Chrissy Angel Sanford. Okay, Sanford. Is that your last name or do you work at Sanford? Just wondering. Mrs. Johnny Knapp, good to see you. Randy, my brother, good to see you. Simply Solo, good to see you. Crime Spy, good to see you. Debbie Gazzardo, my girl, good to see you. Leah Story, my girl, good to see you. Ro, good to see you. There's a lot of people in here, and I just want to say hi to everybody. Jackie Bushable, good to see you. And everybody that's in chat and everybody that's out chat. Now, there's a lot of people that don't chat and that they just watch because they email me and they tell me that, so, and I want to say hi to all them too. Okay, to start this whole thing, we've been watching a lot, and with this channel also, and with all the channels, the Grub Truck, Linda Lane, the list goes on and on. It's been the same. The House, the Corner Club. So we're going to do something a little different and look at something different, a little bit more on the darker side. And we might not get really dark tonight. By the time this is over with, but it's all in facts, pretty much in facts. And that's what we're going to bring you. We're going to show you what we have, and then it's up to you to make your mind up, as usual on this channel. I do have to warn, and I'm just going to put that up now, that there is probably going to be some graphic content through the night. So I will be putting that up, and we shall go from there. I do need to bring up something real quick. Why is that there? Okay. Right. All right. Okay. So, like I said, it's going to be kind of a long show. And we're going to start with this right here. Okay. Rituals, role, living values in the modern fraternity and sorority. Fraternities and sororities were created many years ago with specific purposes. Many of our founders tied specific values to those purposes so that a young man became a balanced man, true gentleman, or man of principle, or so that a young woman might know what it meant to be womanly and true, or to do good, or to be faithful until death. Values like character, dignity, moral growth, scholarship, brotherhood, sisterhood, love, and many others comprised the foundation of our organizations. These values are embedded in our real reason for being, our ritual. Your organization's ritual and the values exposed within is the only real thing that separates it from the rugby team, business association, student government, or any other student organization. It is also important to realize that the ritual one participates in and the pledges one makes are lifelong bonds. They don't end after once you finish school. We ask that as an advisor, you reinforce the paramount importance of your organization's ritual. That is the only reason for their organization's existence, to make young people better people. Your ritual isn't just something you're supposed to do once a semester in the dark. It is something you are supposed to live. We hope you encourage your members, along with us, to live your ritual on a daily basis. Sigma Chi. There are many of us around. Some of us are very informal and loosely structured. Others are very formal and precisely worded. Whether you are aware of it or not, your whole life is based on certain ritualistic patterns. The way you get up in the morning, the way you study, the way you organize your social life, the way you speak and write are all based on certain habits or routines that you develop and are performed, by and large, in an informal, ritualistic way. Today, I would like to share with you some thoughts on another kind of ritual, one that is considered very private and is often historic. I am the fraternity ritual, one that you will find locked in a file in the corner of some dark office because I don't get used or opened up very often. I have a lot of time to think, and I'd like to share with you some of my thoughts. Sometimes I go through a real identity crisis. Who am I? What am I? Why am I? In order to know what a thing is, you must first know what it is for. You tell what a thing is for by the way it is used. Although there are some exceptions in the way I am used, let me tell you how the majority of fraternities use me. A vast amount of time is spent in a dark cabinet, locked up and gathering dust. About once a semester, there comes a mad rush for my existence. People literally scrambling, and all of a sudden, I become very important. It's really funny because many times they can't find me. They forget where I was placed, and a mild panic sets in until finally they dig me out from under the stacks of constitutions, bylaws, and chapter minutes. Once I am found, I am under 24-hour surveillance. It's almost as if I'm being digested. But that's not really it. What's happening is that I'm being memorized. I'm literally studied word for word, phrase for phrase, and sometimes people even argue over me. 2 or 3 people all wanting me at the same time. They begin with, well, let me just copy my part. Then the argument gets hotter because somebody says, no, it's not legal to copy anything out of the ritual. Some people, however, go ahead and fudge a bit and copy their part, then pass me on. After being up almost all day and all night for a week, I am taken to a dimly lighted room where a number of people are gathered. There I am presented with much feeling and serious drama. It is obviously a moment of great climax for some of the people, for they are seeing and hearing me for the very first time. Shortly after the ceremony, I am brought back to the dark room and placed in the locked file drawer, and I'm not seen or heard until the end of the next semester. In this case, as a ritual, what am I? Well, as I see it, I am a perfunctory service that must be performed in order to get new members into an organization. Once the initiation is over, I'm pretty much pigeonholed until the next class is to be initiated. However, in some fraternity houses, I exist in quite a different fashion. Shortly after the initiation, the brothers come in one by one, get me out of the drawer, and look me over very carefully. Some just like to read me, others try to memorize me. Whatever the case, I like it when they use me. Sometimes they even argue over me and gets exciting. Where to go here? What happened there? Okay, I'll just start from here. I'm not sure where. All right. In order to know what I'm really about, I need to be perpetually used and studied. Too often, the members mention me only at initiation time, and I'm really meant for much more than that. In fact, one of the most important missions is to help the active chapter at its weekly meetings. I am understood and used properly at these weekly meetings. I can really help the chapter get things together. There are always a few men who don't like to use me and put up a big argument about having an informal chapter meeting. What a joke that usually turns out to be. What a joke it usually turns out to be. Most informal chapter meetings last a heck of a lot longer than formal chapter meetings where I'm used. As I've listened to people and watched how they use me, a couple of important thoughts have crossed my mind. First, the fraternities have done an excellent job in keeping me a historic document that is basically a secret document that therein is much of the problem. Not only am I a secret document to the outside, I'm a secret to most of the members as well. They really don't know or understand me because they've never really studied me. Some people I suspect would like to keep me very secret because of non-members. If non-members found out what I stood for, they might expect the members to live by it, and that would be very difficult. Therefore, they keep me secret and they won't have to change their lifestyle. Although I can be used in different ways and for different things, when you boil me down to my fundamental essence, I'm essentially one thing, a system of values. I don't change very much because I am the product of history and the spirit of man, how he relates to his fellow man and to his God. This relationship between man and God has never been a static one. It is confusing and illuminating, painful and exciting, a separation and a union. Although I appear to be a contradiction, I am really no more of a contradiction than man himself. Too frequently, we forget that man is both animal and spiritual nature, and to reconcile the two can have often be painful, confusing, and frightening, and that is why it is so critical that man understands who I am and what I am for. Because I am a system of values, I am therefore an instrument of self-evaluation. My values are clear and absolute, and yet difficult to emulate. To state a few, I am honor, courage, integrity, fidelity, courtesy, and I demand self-control as well as ambition and humility. What your founders did was take the idea of friendship and move it to a significant step forward to the concept of commitment. Those of you who are leaders in the fraternity movement, the authors of the national, international, or general fraternities, you who are professional fraternity men must continue to ask yourselves how you can improve and in articulating to your members the message of your fraternity. Why is it that some of the members get it and others do not? To some, the message goes deep and beyond, goes deep and becomes a part of their very being, while for others, it never scratches the surface. Ask yourself the question when you attend your regional meetings, workshops, retreats, leadership schools, how much time do you spend discussing and sharing with each other what personal effect I have had on your lives? Do you, as so many active chapters do, use me to start the meetings and close the meetings and become so involved in your day-to-day business that you forget that I am there to be reflected upon? For those of you who do not understand and use me, you are afraid or ashamed to share those experiences and thoughts with your brothers. Those of you who are fraternity leaders and are not using me in this way are derelict in your responsibilities, your duties, and the very oath that you took when you became a member and officer in your fraternity. For you see, as written in your historic manuals, I am really of very little value unless you and other brothers come and through your mutual sharing begin to experience the essence and depth of my message. Then you and I are activated by the real charge into your spiritual and moral fiber that is possible for all men, but achieved by too few. The effectiveness of my message is in direct proportion to your knowledge and belief in my values. If there is something about me that you do not like, then change me. But for God's sake, do not ignore me. It is the indifference to and the ignorance of my essential message that continues to stifle the growth of the fraternity system. Never has the time been so right as this period in our history, when the young people of today on our college campuses are crying out for the kind of message, guidance, value, and leadership that has been so long and hidden in my pages. I'm going to show you something real quick, and then I'm going to bring up my guests. I'm going to show you something that nobody else has, I do not believe. And at least I do. And I'm just going to show you it real quick. So here we go. As you see, people, this is a ritual book. Okay, and that's what it's called, the ritual book. And there's 69 pages of this. Now do have things broken down and ready to go on this ritual book, which there is some pretty freaky shit. Anyway, I wanted to share with you what this is. Let me get out of here. And yes, this is going to be quite a show. I want to look in holy. Okay, what's up with the comments? I can tell you that. There we go. All right. I want to see what everybody is saying. It is a ritual book full of rituals. And we're going to get into that more as we go along here. But I want to introduce my guests for tonight. First of all, Miss Natural Healing. Hello, Nat. How you doing, my girl?
Tommy Jude. I'm doing well. Hi, everybody in chat and that are watching. Good to see everybody.
And I want to bring up Miss Leah Story. Hello, Leah.
Hello, Tommy. Hello, Natural. And hello, chat.
How you doing?
Hi,
I'm
Leah.
doing good.
We got quite a show lined up, and I'm going to tell you everybody right now that Mod Investigations did the work on this, and these two did a lot of it with some others in the background, and others that are just investigators, blah, blah, blah. So it is going to be quite a show, and I want to look at something here quick. Okay. So anyway, Nat, you got something to show us or to talk about or something? Yeah, you're going to talk about this or something,
I do. So, Tommy, what I'm doing is I know, right? So what I'm doing, because this is our first show, I just want to touch base more about Sigma Chi. Okay, some of just the basic
Okay.
stuff so we can get everyone on
Good
board
start.
of getting more of an idea. And in
Mhm.
addition to that, I'm also adding,
Mhm.
talking a little bit more about a couple different fraternities and also a couple individuals. So
Okay.
that's what I want to bring forth today.
Okay. You go right ahead, my girl.
Okay, sure, absolutely. So Sigma Chi, it actually is divided into 7 operational entities. It's a Sigma Chi fraternity, a Sigma Chi Foundation, a Sigma Chi Canadian Foundation, Risk Management Foundation, Constantine Capital, the Blue and Gold Travel Services, as well as a newly organized Sigma Chi Leadership Institute. Now, Sigma Chi was founded June 28th, 1855, 169 years ago, in Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. Now, in this, their motto is "In this sign you shall conquer," and their badge is a cross with an emblem within a cross, and then their colors are blue and old gold. They have a flag which is blue and old gold with a white cross, which represents the principles of purity, honor, truth, which are core values of the fraternity. They do have a flower, which is a white rose. They do support the Children's Miracle Network, Huntsman and Cancer Institute. There's 242 chapters of Sigma Chi. There are 15,700 active members. 2 nicknames for Sigma Chi would be SIG or SIGs. Their headquarters is located in Evanston, Illinois. Sigma Chi has been one of the largest and most respected fraternities in the country. Provides to their membership the lifelong network of support and opportunities for personal professional growth. Sigma Chi, it balances men program, encouraging members to develop well-rounded attributes, including academics, excellence, leadership, commitment to physical and mental well-being. They claim their brotherhood is form bond that is unbreakable. These brothers support and uplift each other through all of these challenges, creating lifelong friendships and memories. They have a rich tradition of incorporating rituals and ceremonies that instill a sense of unity, brotherhood, and commitment among its members. They commit to brotherhood, leadership, and services that shape countless lives and continues to make positive impact on campuses and community. Within that fraternity, there's other fraternities that kind of follow Sigma Chi, but because Sigma Chi is such a leader, so I'm just going to touch base a little bit more on that. So I'm still speaking about the Sigma Chi. So Sigma Chi's actions, they stand by secrecy. And there are 2 parts of the fraternity is called setting and probationary process. In layman's terms, it means rushing and pledging. Sigma Chi represents the intersection between literacy, societies, and secret, initiating order, which is heavily influenced by the Freemasons. Other actions and symbols of Sigma Chi that are called identifiers. One of them is they go by Greek letters. They also go by what they call ciphers, which is a method of transferring a concealed message. There are also badges. There is another thing called grips, which is like a person. It's like a formation. So it's like a first brother that gives like to the secret motto. There's also hand signals, passwords, of course, flowers and colors. Now, there are some people that some know this, some may not, individuals that were part of the Sigma Chi and names that have been out there for 2.5 years due to the Idaho 4. And some of the Sigma Chi people were Ethan Chapin, his brother Hunter Chapin, David Loach, and David Barichola. The other fraternities that were also there in Idaho for that follow really underneath the Sigma Chi is called Delta Tau Delta. Jack Showalter was part of that, but he got kicked out due to putting dead carcasses of animals on the lawn of different fraternities. The other individual was Jack Decor. Now, we also have another name that we all know. It's called Scott Green. Now, he was not a Delta, but he was a fraternity of Kappa Sigma fraternity, and he served as a student body president. There's something else that I have found that was interesting that had in relation to Idaho. The highest ranking fraternal order in Idaho within the content of law enforcement is the Idaho Fraternal Order of Police. Its goal is to improve the law enforcement profession and other members' business networking opportunities. We all know Chief Fry, just to give you a little information. Chief Fry, he did not serve in college fraternity, but he did serve on the Idaho Opiate and Substance Use Disorder Advisory Group in 2019. He also graduated from the University of Idaho and graduated from the FBI National Academy. There is an individual also that I want to touch base on that some of us know that is and was part of Sigma Chi in Moscow, and we all know that it was Hudson Lindo. He was very good friends with Ethan Chapin. They both were rushing during the same time. But Hudson died in 2022. He was found in Paradise Creek, which is behind the Delta Tau Delta fraternity. His death was ruled out by Moscow police, stating that it was an accidental drowning in 2 inches of frozen water, knowing that this young man, I believe, was a star swimmer. Hudson was founded that night after the Delta Tau Delta had their annual ball, and there were people that attended was Jack Showalter, Maddie, and Zana. And lastly, there was a fraternity in the United States that was shut down in the state of Florida, which is Phi Kappa Tau. And they served for 70 years, and they were shut down by the national office due to allegations of hazing. And that's a very short little synopsis of a little bit of what Sigma Chi and other fraternities were, and to give you some ideas of the individuals that we all know for the last 2.5 years that were involved in those fraternities. There you go, Tommy. Are you there?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I was back there talking to myself again on mute.
I'm good, Tommy. That's what I got for you tonight.
And that was a great job.
Yes.
A lot of people were asking about the hand signals. Now, I don't know if you got that, or if it was Coco and I that got that. Do we know what that is? Do we know what that is, Coco? Or
it was the somebody? 4, Tommy. It was the 4. Hands up 4, fingers 4.
Right. Yeah. What does that represent? I think is what they're asking.
I think it has. Okay. You know what? I this is not exact, but it might have something to do represent the type of knocks that they have to do. But you know what? I got to research that.
Yeah, it's a shorthand for 13. Yes.
Oh,
that's
okay.
what we. That's what we figured out. Was the 1 and 3, right?
So there we go again. 13.
13, right?
13, November 13th. November 13th. Yep. That's why I'm bringing that up.
Yes, that is shorthand for 13.
There you go.
And then you have 4 fingers, and you have to wonder about that too. Being that 4 people were taken out,
right?
And that's always been a while for me. Yes, that is a big cover up in our opinions.
Yeah.
So, and now, Leah, you got something for us too, correct?
Yes, I was going to do the initiation ritual. I was going to read from it. Can
Okay,
you
you may
show
go
it?
ahead.
Can you show it?
So,
The
uh,
initiation ritual thing that it's got the red writing in it.
let me see what I got.
And also, I'd like to do a little personal testimony afterwards, if I can.
Yeah. I don't. Oh, yeah. Sigma initiation ritual.
Yes.
Oh, right. I was looking at this today, and this is, yeah, okay. I think I know what you mean. Okay, is this what you're looking for? Tell me if this is what you're looking for. Um, right here. Is this it?
Let me see. Yes. I just wanted it up there while I
Okay.
read so that everybody can see. Because I saw a video today where Tell It to Ellie, is that how you say her name? She
Uh huh.
showed this a year
Yeah,
ago.
tell it to Ellie.
So I just wanted it up
Oh,
there.
okay.
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 And she didn't get to read it to anybody. And she said if you wanted to read it, pause, da 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 da. So,
Well, this was
um,
put out on 4/28 of 25. So
yeah.
just, yeah, for that was
Okay.
2 days ago or
So
something.
what we got
Um,
here is a um, ritualistic opening, and you have your consul, who is a high-ranking official who has religious duties and presides over rituals like sacrifices, or leads a
okay.
ritual or ceremony. And then you have your kutos, I guess that's how you say it, kutos. And that's a chapter
Mhm.
officer responsible for maintaining the privacy of the chapter room, assisting with the chapter meetings, and preserving the chapter's ritual paraphernalia objects. Okay, and then you have your proconsul who assists the consul. And then you have an annotator who is like a secretary or treasurer, keeps the records, keeps the minutes of the meeting. Okay. So let me get where I now if you want I'll read, how it goes. I'm gonna try not to be so boring.
Leah,
Okay.
stop.
Okay, the consul, he says,
You're
kudos,
fine.
take your station. And then the kudos takes his station at the door, and the brothers take their respective places. The consul, are none but true Sigma Chi's present. And Cousteau says none worthy consul. And I don't know why he said that. And the consul said, in order that we may be doubly sure, the consul and annotator shall pass the challenge. The consul shall challenge first the proconsul and the annotator. These offices shall in turn challenge the brothers next to them. These brothers in turn shall pass it on until the entire circle has been challenged. When the consul notices that all have been challenged, he shall turn to the consul and give the sign of salutation, saying, "Worthy consul, all have been challenged." Now, I don't know what that challenge is. It doesn't say. Okay, brothers, in what name come we hither? And the brothers say, in the name of friendship, justice, and learning. The consul should stand at the altar before which the 7-branch candlestick shall have been placed before the opening. The consul shall light the 7 tapers or the 7 candles in order from right to left as viewed from the chapter circle. As rapidly as each taper is lightened, the consul shall pronounce in impressive voice the virtue it typifies. Okay, and here's that says the lighting of the 7 candles. What it does here is it names the 7 candles. The console says the light of courage, the light of wisdom, the light of integrity, and I question their integrity, the light of high ambition, the light of self-control, the light of courtesy, and the light of fidelity. Brothers, what is a true Sigma Chi enlightenment? And the brothers say that which we received before the 7 lights. And the console, for what purpose do we receive this enlightenment? And the brothers, to ennoble our lives by the practice of the 7 virtues. And then the console said, let us pray that we may be endowed with friendship, justice, and learning. And then they say the prayer. Do you want me to read the prayer?
Where's Tommy?
I don't know. What do you think, Nat? Should I read the prayer? Go
Sure,
on
if
with
it goes
it.
I'm
along
sorry.
with what you're saying.
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I was muted again. It's up
Okay.
to it's up to you. It's your part of the show, Leah. It's up to you.
Okay. The Pro Council says, "O God, who has taught us that true friendship is true service, enable us, we pray thee, so to befriend our brothers that we may assist them to attain those virtues which are pleasing to thee." And the brothers say, Amen. And the proconsul says, O Lord, our judge, who has commanded us to speak righteousness and to judge uprightly, grant that iniquity may not be found in our mouths, nor wickedness in our minds, but that from pure hearts we may speak and do those things that are just in thy sight. And the brothers say, Amen. And proconsul, O God our Father, grant that we find in thee the light of knowledge and fullness of all virtue, and grant that while we seek the gifts of learning, we may never depart from thee, the foundation of wisdom. And the brothers say, Amen. And I say, some fraternities may be true to this, but some
Yeah,
not.
and some of these rituals over the years have gotten darker and darker, and
Yes,
that's
very much.
we do have 3 parts to the show, and what we're doing is just we need to touch on the beginning parts, the start of the rituals, and that's what we're doing. But go ahead.
Okay. And then you have the entrance of the magister and the candidates, and they're standing on the other side of the door. The consul says, brothers, we are assembled to confer the honor of initiation upon, and they give the names. Before we proceed to make them our brothers, it is my duty to remind you that the ties by which we shall bind these candidates to our fraternity are sacred. Therefore, I urge upon you to strive to make this initiation a true expression of the worth of the fraternity into which they are entering. Let no levity nor unseemingly conduct prevent them from learning those lessons whose meaning they must grasp if they are to be true Sigma Chi's. Let us remember that these lessons are for us to follow, and in our thoughts, let us renew before our altar of lessons of the white cross we love so well. And the consul says, brothers, be seated. And then custos, who comes here? Then magister, your magister with friends, and he gives the names who desire admission into our fraternity. In what name come you hither? And magister says, in the name of friendship, justice, and learning. Kutos, I will report to our worthy brothers and inform you of their pleasure. And I guess he shuts the door back and then talks to the brothers. And Kuso says, brother, it is well, you are well. And then he goes back to the door because everybody agrees. And he says, bring with you your friends, and may they ever prove themselves worthy of our confidence. The magister enters and moves at the head of the procession immediately to the place where candidates will take their station. Each candidate shall be conducted into the chapter room on the arm of his guide.
Okay, Leah,
Who helped them
uh,
glean.
I hate to interrupt. I hate doing that, especially when you're part of the show. But the hand signals, 4 represents, so everybody knows. I'm just finding this out by doing some reading here. The hand signals represent, the 4 represents Sigma Chi. Okay. And there is a thing when they go to these rituals where they knock 3 times, pause, knock 1 more time, then 3 more times, then 1 more time. Then the person behind the door does the same exact knocks. The door is open, and then there is a password to get in. Anyway, I just wanted to explain that part. And go ahead, Leah.
Okay, and then we have the vouching. And the consul says, whom have we here? And the magister says, worthy counsel, benighted candidates who desire admission into our order. And the consul, have they been duly obligated? And magister, they have, worthy consul. Have they been duly examined? They have, worthy consul. Have they been duly cleansed? They have, worthy consul. Do you consider them worthy and well qualified? I do, worthy consul. Are they duly vouched for? They are. Who vouches for these candidates? And at this point, the magister gives a signal to those assembled, and the response should be given in unison as follows: we all do. And the consul, then must they indeed be truly worthy. And then you have the enlightenment. The consul, my friends, you are now standing in the sacred shrine of Sigma Chi, whose beauties you do not appreciate because your eyes cannot see them. It is well for the sight of our symbols. Instead of accomplishing your enlightenment, we would confuse your untutored minds. By the manner of your enlightenment, you will be reminded that the progress of true learning is gradual, for your light will increase as you advance in knowledge. Brother Magister, you will remove the blindfolds. And he removes the blindfolds. That's right. They're blindfolded during that time. And then you have the lighting of the 7 candles. And it looks like they name them all in honor of a previous member. You will now hear the names of the 7 founders of the Sigma Chi fraternity and the reasons why we honor them. Okay. The first candle is Benjamin Piatt Runkle. All honor his name. And it says, as a student at Miami, he spurned the domination of those who sought to control his sense of duty, and the founding of Sigma Chi followed. Wounded as a volunteer soldier, he was left for dead upon the field of Shiloh, but lived to become a general. His superb courage kept him always in the army of the nation for which he risked his life. He loved his country with intense patriotism. I said that funny. And so he loved Sigma Chi all his days, giving to her the same full measure of devotion. His life inspires us to assume all the duties of citizenship in peace as well as in war. As he made sacrifices for his country, so let us show our devotion to our country by obedience to its laws and by our constant vigil for the betterment of city, state, and nation. To nation. To him is dedicated this light of courage. And then the next one is Thomas Cowan Bell, all honor to his name, a genial comrade among his fellow students. He early displayed an ardent love for learning. In college, he devoted himself to a wide range of reading, and his early writings show his scholarly taste. He adopted education as a career and became a college president, and his genius for administration brought him financial independence. To him is dedicated the light of wisdom. And then you have William Lewis Lockwood, I'll honor his name. He guided the finances of our first chapter until his graduation from college. His business records show the integrity and promptness with which he completed every transaction of the chapter. Suffering from wounds of war, the young soldier bravely fought the battle of life. He met the business world with confidence and won success through fairness and rectitude. And to him is dedicated the light of integrity. Then we have Isaac Jordan. I'll honor his name. In college, he was known for his energy and for his faithful performance of every task. His brilliance as an orator, his leadership in law, his usefulness as a member of Congress were the natural fruits of his high ambition, studious habits, and untiring industry. To him is dedicated the light of high ambition. And then Daniel William Cooper, his temperance, self-control, and purity in thought were indeed reflected the nobility of his character. By common choice, he was consul for the first chapter until his graduation. As a noble preacher of the cross, he gave his long and useful life to lead men to spiritual heights. To him is dedicated the light of self-control. And then we have Franklin Scobie, warm-hearted, generous, and gifted. He possessed remarkable ability to win friends and to hold their loyal friendship. His courtesy and tact were not simply matters of social form, but were the outgrowth of a spirit of kindness and goodwill. To him is dedicated the light of courtesy. And then we have James Parks Caldwell. He's the youngest among the founders of our fraternity. Nevertheless, he was held in honor among them for his faithfulness. While a prisoner of war, he was offered his freedom on condition that he renounce his allegiance to the Confederacy. But fidelity to principle caused him to remain true to the Southland. In like manner, he ever remained loyal to Sigma Chi. To him is dedicated the light of fidelity. So candidates, these 7 lights represent courage, wisdom, integrity, high ambition, self-control, courtesy, and fidelity. You will observe that the lights are supported by 7 arms branching from one common standard. The union of arms with the standard is emblematic, I can't say that, of the strength of your character when endowed with the
Emblematic.
Oh, okay. Virtues we emulate. Okay, and they have 3 great aims, and that's the 3 great aims of this fraternity are friendship, justice, and learning. They contain the elements of a complete personality, for friendship is the noblest expression of our emotions. Justice must dominate every decision of the will, and learning is the goal of every tainted intellect.
Trained.
Trained. These have been the great aims of our fraternity from its beginning. The trials to which our founders were subject bound them together in an unusually close and enduring friendship. The inception of Sigma Chi was a protest against injustice in their college life. All our founders were proficient as students, and most of them learned professions. The 7 virtues which we emulate are closely related to these great aims. Courtesy and fidelity are noble expressions of true friendship. Courage and integrity must ever characterize our sense of justice. Wisdom and self-control will follow learning, while these great aims are true goals of high ambition. Well, and then we have the appearance of Constantine. In order that you may still better understand the meaning and importance of the 7 virtues and the great aims of this fraternity, I shall now call upon our ancient patron, the Emperor Constantine, to give you further light. May you profit by his teachings. The council extends his hand and looks toward the place where Constantine is to appear. Constantine appears at the scene. The 7 lights are left burning until after the obligation. I guess someone's being Constantine. Hear the words of the one who in his own day was mighty. I, Constantine, the Emperor, address you that I may enlist your lifelong devotion to my cause. You have taken vows of eternal friendship and manly honor. Let your friendship be enduring and your life beyond reproach. The light of the scene is turned on. The candidates are in position where they may clearly see the scene. Observe these emblems of morality. In the chill arms of death, we must all at last repose. The young, the strong, the buoyant, the happy, and the beautiful must all, like the weak, the poor, and the wretched, succumb at last. But we are taught that we who nobly lives may nobly die. An honest man, the noblest works of God. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, before the evil days come and the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, before the sun and the light and the moon and the stars are darkened, and man goeth to his everlasting home, and the mourners go about the streets. Before the silver cord is loosed, or the golden bowl is broken, or the pitcher is broken at the fountain of the wheel, broken at the cistern, and the dust returneth to the earth as it was, and the spirit returneth to God who gave it.
So, like a lot of this is, to me, is there's almost like it's almost like a religion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I think that's the main thing that you're trying to get across here.
Yeah.
Correct, Leah? Okay.
Yes, and they have the presentation of a badge. They have an explanation of a badge, the explanation
Right.
of the brand seal. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
but it's all looking like it's high integrity, a lot of, it's deceptive. To me, it's deceptive.
Right. But there is a legacy. There is a legacy behind this, and there's patterns, and that's what we're going to be getting into in a lot of this too, and the initiations that go along, and yeah.
And through this, there was no vow. I didn't see any kind of vows or oaths in this one.
In this section, right? In this one, yes. But like I say, that we're going to be going by a book, the ritual book and stuff. So we are going to be touching on some dark stuff.
Yeah, I do want to give a little bit of a testimony. When I went through my divorce, and this is with my husband that I lost my son and daughter with. But at this time, I had only lost my son, and in 1989, I lost him. 5 years later, I was wanting a divorce. And during the divorce process, he told me he was a member of the KKK. And I laughed at him, you know, and he always hunted and fished. So he's gone from sun up to sundown. So if he goes to his secret meetings, I didn't know. Well, after the divorce, he joined the Freemasons. And he goes through, I guess, all this stuff of integrity and everything. But what he does is he takes off to another state, to his home state in Alabama, with my 2 daughters. And it was hell trying to get them back. He basically stole them from me. And I got one of my daughters back, and I didn't get Allison back until she was a teenager. And Allison's also the one that I lost. And I do not see, I mean, I have learned that the Masons are evil like this, that you don't want to divorce a Mason because they will try to take your children and stuff like that. And they're not good people. I've not had good experiences with Masons. And I do want to say that. I mean, reading all this,
and I think,
and it's just
right. And I think that's going to fit into all of this. Also, Nat, do you have any feelings on this?
On what Leah just read?
Yeah.
And anything about these rituals that are out there?
I found that a lot of them are based the same way. They may do something different or different knocks, but it's really a foundation off from the Freemasons. And it does sound like a religion, and I believe they truly believe it's their religion, because they live and die by this oath and by all of it. But it does sound like it is a disguise, an underground dark disguise to me as well. And some people felt that way too in chat.
Right.
But, and I think they're all connected
that energy feel of that, you know. And I feel that there's a lot of deception on that. Now you got a brotherhood here, and they hold that oath until they die, even after they're out there. 10 years later, whatever years later, after they graduate from college, they hold truth to that.
And they're all connected, like the Freemasons, the fraternities, the sororities, KKK. They're all connected.
They are secretly connected.
They are related.
And that's why I brought up certain points. It's secret. Now, if something is secret, well, especially in an organization, why does it have to be secret? Why are we holding secrets on this? So that's where the darker part is going to come in with this.
Right.
But I think it's vitally important to understand some basics of where this is coming from, because there's so many signs and symbols just with this Idaho 4 case, where you're seeing the numbers, you're seeing the hand signals, you are seeing, I know that's part of them, but there's a lot to be seen within this case that reflects a lot of the ritualism of Sigma Chi.
I mean, look at the judge. I mean, I bet you all that's him putting his hands on his head, I bet half of it's hand signals.
It could be. I think it's a game.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we're going to tie in on this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to share something here. Like I said, people, this is going to be all up to you. What we're trying to do is show you the facts of what's out there, and something totally different than what people are doing. Can you see what I got up here now? Is it there? I can't see the screen. I'm like totally on this page.
I see it.
Yes, I see it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yep, we see it.
All right. So, Okay, this is from Fox 13, Salt Lake City. All right. After an emotional night of testimony, Utah moves forward with bill to outlaw ritualistic child abuse. They actually had to come up with a law. Okay. The Utah state legislature is moving forward with a bill that would criminalize ritualistic child abuse of children. If it passes, the bill would define ritual abuse for the first time in Utah history. It has now received a favorable recommendation from the House Judiciary Committee. With tears in her eyes and her voice shaking, Kara Baldry decided to testify in favor of the bill while holding a picture of a young girl in her arms. I am speaking up for her. I'm speaking up for her because she's the bravest little girl, Baldry said. If I could go back in time, I would hug her and tell her she is beautiful. As it turns out, the photo of the young girl was Baldry in the 1980s. She held her own picture, surrounded by the survivors of ritualistic abuse. And here it shows the court thing going on. After an extremely graphic and emotional night of testimony, Utah is now moving forward with a bill that would criminalize ritualistic abuse of children. And Kara Baldry was a big part of this. The testimony helped convince a panel of lawmakers to favorably recommend the bill, which would designate ritualistic abuse as a second-degree felony and lengthen the statute of limitations for other sex-related offenses. Today was a victory for my little girl self that had her voice stolen, Baldry said. Child abuse is currently a misdemeanor under the Utah statute. It's only a misdemeanor? Oh, my God. Under Utah statute. Aggravated child abuse, which contemplates a serious physical injury to the child, only rises to the level of a second-degree felony if intentional. According to the bill, the word ritual means an event or act or a series of events or acts marked by specific actions, gestures, or words designed to commemorate, celebrate, or solemnize a particular occasion or significance in a religious, cultural, social, institutional, or other context. The bill would prohibit the following acts so long as they are intentional and cause substantial psychological distress or bodily injury to a child, causing a child to participate in or witness the torture, mutilation, or sacrifice of an animal, the dissection, mutilation, or incineration of a human corpse, the causing of serious bodily injury to an individual, bestiality, sadistic or masochistic activities, the ingestion or external application of human bones, blood, flesh, human vomit, animal vomit, saliva, urine, semen, fecal material, or other bodily secretion. This is what's going on in the courts, people. This is what's going on in the courts.
This is factual. This is very factual right here.
This is factual.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Causing a child to enter a coffin or open grave containing a human corpse or remains, participate in a mock, unauthorized, or unlawful marriage ceremony as an individual being married to another individual or fictional representation. Ingest, inject, or otherwise intake a chemical compound, narcotic, drug, hallucinogen, or anesthetic, or whatever, threatening a child or the parents, family, pets, or friends with death, serious bodily injury, other criminal activity. So threatening a child, or the child's parents, family, pets, or friends, deprives a child of sleep, food, or water, binds or confines a child, otherwise acts to cause or to arouse or gratify the sexual desire of any individual. This is some sick shit.
Yes, it's 100%.
Yes, if convicted, imprisonment would be mandatory. The law carves out exceptions for legitimate medical care and reasonable discipline or management of a child. The law also carves out exceptions for self-defense. Baldry described ritual abuse as involving chains, cannibalism, and child prostitution. My
Yes.
perpetrator made me believe I was a whore at 7 years old.
Yes.
Baldry said, the psychological effects from that are never ending. Sometimes he would urinate on me after the abuse to remind me of my worthlessness and do things involving rituals
Yes.
and mutilated animals. Another
Yes.
survivor, and again, I've got it listed down below. This is graphic stuff. Another survivor testified she was smeared with human feces for ritualistic reasons as part of her abuse. Cindy Metcalf, executive director of an anti-human trafficking nonprofit called Relentless Hope, testified she and her partners have interviewed over 190 survivors of ritual abuse. As part of her testimony, she addressed anyone who believes ritualistic abuse is simply a conspiracy theory. The satanic panic theory has been debunked, Metcalf said. The bill is being sponsored by Ken Ivory, Republican in West Jordan. This is horrific, heinous, vile conduct, Ivory said. I had a survivor tell me that as a child, she was told that they planted a bomb inside of her and that if she told anyone, they would detonate the bomb. There's a general cultural and sexual child sexual abuse that is bad to tell. Someone will hurt you if you tell. They'll hurt your family members if you tell. They won't believe you if you tell. In response to several questions and hypotheticals, Ivory said nobody is going to accidentally commit ritualistic abuse. Accidentally.
This is a prime example of trafficking right here. That's what they do to these young people right
exactly.
here.
And
it gets even nastier.
And the Masons and for the Masons and all, they are a big part of this also.
Yes, they are.
The Satan worshipers, Luciferians.
Yes.
And despite high-profile cases, Ivory said other cases happen even more up. And there's somebody out there trying to say it's been debunked and debunked and debunked. No, it isn't. They have testimony of these people when they were kids, holding up pictures of them when they were kids because they feel that their childhood was totally fucking wiped out.
Yep, that's true.
And despite the high-profile cases, Ivory said other cases happen even more often than public realizes, which is why he believes the law needs to change. I know I've heard a little bit of some things in the news, Ivory said. It wasn't really something fully in my awareness, but now I've got to be a constitute, Baltry. This is her story. She just started to cry, and she said, they believe me. I mean, can you imagine after all these years, nobody believing her? No, You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden they're in court and they believe me. The legislature believed me.
Yeah.
She just started to cry. Idaho and Texas have similar laws contemplating the ritualistic abuse of children. So this shit does go on, people. This ritualistic shit. And that's what it is.
More than what you know. More than you realize.
Yes.
Yes, more than what people realize.
Like Debbie said, their God is Lucifer. And that is true when they do their rituals and sacrifices, when the sacrifices are involved.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff. And we leave that up to everybody to decide on their own, because what we have here is opinions on what we've read and not just what we read, but we know in our soul,
Right.
Okay, so look a little further. Might take a couple of minutes. I might get choppy here for a couple of minutes here. Oh, that's that. Well, you know what? I want to run this again. Actually, I want to run this again. I'm going to run what I ran at the very beginning. I mixed it in between songs, but I want to play this one more time while there's more people in here.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I wanted to share something with you. So I've been studying to be a life insurance agent, and when I was going through the manual and studying everything for the exam, there was something that struck out to me. It said for a fraternal organization to get life insurance, they have to be ritualistic. They have to practice rituals, right? So this is like the Freemasons or the Masonic lodges and stuff like that. They are ritualistic, obviously, right? Also, the fraternities in the colleges, right? So what rituals are they doing? Where they're doing rituals of embarrassment, right? They're embarrassing you, they're hazing you, they're doing all of these things like, either sexual or embarrassing you, fraternities and sororities, right? So be mindful that these organizations that you're a part of, right? You're going to college, you want to be accepted by everybody, but you're part of a fraternity or a sorority that is partaking in rituals, all right? So just be mindful that that's literally on paper. They have to do rituals, okay, to be considered a fraternity or a sorority. So that's my little tidbit, all right?
So what my understanding on that,
Okay,
Tommy, is
Mhm.
well, I'm sorry, but what I'm hearing from this gentleman is like
Mhm.
Sigma Chi has insurance policy out on each
Yes, they do,
other.
On each
and
other?
that's one of the things
So
I was
then,
going to bring up. That's one of the things I was going to bring
okay,
up
all right. Do you
is
want
that
me to let
when when someone dies, like the four kids, uh, their fraternities and sororities get money because they all are insured. Not
okay. I didn't know. So what you're saying is Sigma Chi got money off of the Idaho 4 unalivings.
yeah,
Probably.
supposedly. I mean, they're supposed to have
Yeah,
insurance on these kids. Yeah,
yep. Yeah, but you know that they were fully
yeah,
stocked with what they needed. They were fully funded. People made sure that fraternity was
right.
fat.
Yes,
So there you go, people. What does that tell you?
right. Okay, so here's another thing I want to share here. Let me know when you can see it. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Yeah, Tommy.
Yes. Okay. All right. It hasn't finished loading here, so I'm hoping I'm not cutting out. Let me jump over here. Uh-oh. Okay. I hate that when it keeps spinning up here. Group planning a gender affirmation ritual. This event will take place at the Idaho Capitol. And this was listed as February 12th, 2023. So not long ago. Boise, Idaho. Satanic Idaho is a self-described atheistic, altruistic, satanic religious organization that has planned a gender-affirming ceremony to take place at the Idaho State Capitol. We, like a large majority of self-identified Satanists, do not believe in a literal Satan, but use the literally present our goals of compassion, justice, and wisdom. Whatever. the co-facilitator cleric of Satanic Idaho, Rowan Ostracek. We do private socials, mutual aid work throughout the community, and now public events. We also have members who are simply allies and support religious freedom and freedom from religion. So, I mean, this shit is going on right in Idaho. It talks about that many Satanists see themselves as adversaries against tyrannical authority. It's out there. It's out there, people. Know what I mean?
Yeah, more ways than one in that. It's not just Sigma Chi. As I read before, you got the police, the Fraternal Order of Police. That's the highest one there in Idaho. I found that really interesting. That's the highest ranking fraternity, is the police. And where we at with the LE in Moscow? Doesn't feel very good, does it?
Right.
That's another connection that police are like a fraternity.
All right. Maybe we should take a peek. Okay. Let's take a peek at this. This is a very short one, but it gets to the point. Sheriff's investigating ritualistic child sexual abuse. This is from 5/31 of 2022. So May of 22. Special Victims Unit detectives and investigators from multiple county and federal agencies are investigating reports of ritualistic child sexual abuse from as far back as 1990. Now, look at the date here. This is May 31st of 2022. And let this sink in. Special Victims Unit detectives. So they have a Special Victims Unit and investigators from multiple county and federal agencies, which usually means the FBI, are investigating reports of ritualistic child sexual abuse from as far back as 1990. And this again is in Utah. Now, this stretches into as you've seen, Idaho has already got that law. There's already a law in effect for this. So apparently, they don't just make laws up for no reason. I mean, there's something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh almighty. Of course there is. Just with this Idaho 4, let alone anything else that was going before that. I mean, there was several children, when I say children, young adults that are in college. I mentioned, the young man that passed away in that creek, and the list goes on, of all these individuals that are passing away.
Mm-hmm.
That's related to these fraternities.
Mm-hmm.
It's all related, people. It's all related to the fraternities and sororities. And for anybody that can't see that or like discards it, you're not making the right decision on this.
Right.
Do you know what
there is rituals? There is.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you know what Ethan, what kind of hazing he had to do or whatever to get in?
Oh, no. You're cutting off.
Oh, like do you know what he had to do to get in?
Say that again, Leah, because you cut out.
Huh.
Okay, can you hear me now?
No.
I can hear you just fine, so I don't know what's going on, Tommy, but I do hear her fine.
Yes.
Oh, okay. What did Ethan have to do to join the fraternity? What kind of hazing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you know?
Okay, so I
Go
don't
ahead.
know. I didn't go that far on that, Leah. I was just touching base on the basics.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if they actually have a standard way of hazing. So I'm sorry, I can't
Mhm.
answer that right now.
Oh, okay.
I think that's one of those things that they don't talk about. Like
Oh,
when we seen the video of Dylan, that was awful. But what else was there on the hazing, and is it part of the rituals and that we're looking into now? And there's, like I said, there's going to be 3 parts to the show, and it gets darker and darker and darker.
mm-hmm.
Um, but we want to touch on some of this stuff, because what was going on at Sigma Chi and those other fraternity or other frats and sororities, with Hudson drowning in supposedly 2 inches of water or whatever the fuck it was.
And then
That's
Hannah.
ridiculous. And then Hannah, that was a suicide. They say a suicide.
They say
Um,
suicide, but I allegedly, I think it's a
some
different, it
people
was something
question it.
totally different.
Some
Yep.
some people question that. But did she feel really bad by being hazed? Was it a hazing? They say that Maddie and Kaylee and them were bullying, but maybe was it bullying or was it hazing?
Right. Because sororities,
And,
they follow the same codes. They follow underneath Sigma
mhm,
Chi. They
Mm-hmm.
go through the same thing.
yeah,
So it's not just the males. The females do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
right. Hmm. Yes. Oh, and actually, they're the sororities and fraternities uh, are linked. They are
Yeah.
linked with a what do you call it? Like a oh, the word was there. Uh, anyway, they're linked by a where there's somebody in charge of that thing, and it links them together and brings them together. I mean, they actually have meetings together and everything. So I mean, yeah, that's coming up here. Let's take a look at this. What is this? Oh, I got to shut off my stupid. I didn't show me that earlier. God, I hate that. Pause on the site. Continue. God, they're going to make me redo this whole thing. Okay, hold on. All right. Caleb Wilson's hazing death is a familiar cautionary tale. This awful tragedy reaffirms a constant problem in Black Greek lettered undergraduate organizations. In 2004, I was hired for the first time as an expert witness in a hazing death. Based on my experience advising fraternities and sororities, along with my research on these groups and career as an immigrant, had expertise that would complement their legal training.
Tommy, I think he frozen.
Yeah, he looks frozen.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, anyways, he
I
was he
can't
was
see. Huh?
oh, this is about Caleb.
What?
Oh, now it's gone. He was reading on He was reading on Caleb. Are you
Okay, that
familiar
was
with?
what he was reading. It
Yes,
was
he
about
was.
Caleb.
Yeah, he was. He was starting to talk about Caleb Wilson,
Oh, I don't know who Caleb Wilson is.
and he passed away this year.
Oh, okay. What fraternity was he in? Do you know?
Let me see. Just a moment. Um,
Okay.
okay, he's
Yeah,
Very
gone.
sick.
I think he
we
was
have a
in.
storm going on here, so
Yeah, I think he was
it's a
the
pretty good
Omega.
storm going on. So
Oh, okay.
I believe that Caleb was in
all
the
right.
Omega. Is that right, Tommy?
So back to this here.
Okay, we'll let him do his thing.
Yeah.
God, they always have to do this shit. But anyway, I'm not doing. I'm not going to go there anymore. This I hate this crap that they do. You know what I'm saying? Just let me read the damn article. You know what I mean?
Right, I know it. I know it.
Um, it drives me crazy. Um, but yeah, I mean, and there's been many hazing deaths more than people realize, and it isn't just the deaths; it's what it does to a person's psyche. And
Yes,
the deaths are awful, but what about the people that live through it? What about the people that live through this kind of crap? What does it
right.
do to them? You know, what does it? And I think some places carry this rich, which we'll be getting into in part 2 and 3. Um, and I'm just going to tell everybody right now, we do believe that Birdie. Does everybody know Birdie?
Yes, I know Birdie.
Does
Yeah.
everybody know Birdie?
I could give his link to his YouTube or TikTok. He's got a
You can put.
YouTube he's starting up now.
Uh, yeah. He's not much on the YouTube yet. I would put his TikTok, and you should be able to post a link, just like you do as a mod,
Yeah.
um,
Let me
right
go
down in
look.
the chat thing there. Yeah. Um, but I want to see if anybody else out there knows who I'm talking about, Birdie, because we do believe he's going to be here soon. We're hoping for Friday. Um, we're working it out. We've been in talks with him. Who is Birdie? He is like very famous in TikTok land.
Yes. And he's
That's
moving
all
over
I
to
can say,
YouTube
really.
also.
And Birdie will. He's moving over to YouTube also. Yes.
Yeah.
Who just said Birdie is great? Somebody said Birdie is great. Yes, Walking and Tonka. Yeah. Anyway, he's going to be on the show. All right, and we're gonna get into the dark parts of this kind of stuff. And like I said at the beginning of the show, we've looked at everything a million zillion times. Is there more to some of this? And that's what we need to explore. We need to explore, is there more going on than we know? Why are kids so quiet? And does it tie into this kind of thing? Is there some kind of ritualistic? I'm going to tell you right now, like in the Linda Lane stuff, you can see robes, people in robes, that kind of thing, which people got down on me, and but it makes you wonder. And even if they're overlaid from somewhere. This kind of shit is going on somewhere in Idaho. And that's what we need to explore, right? You agree?
Yes, 100% agree with that. It needs to be explored, and it also needs to be known out there. It's too secretive. People need to know the truth, and it's dark and
Right.
ugly, but you need to be aware and vigilant. And I truly believe that a lot of the Idaho 4 ties in with the ritualism. And they do
Mhm.
wear robes. They do wear robes. I've seen it in one of the books I have. They do wear robes and they stand in circles and they do the
Mhm.
ritualism.
Yeah.
Now, just to like, because it's it's good to have where we can back things up,
Yeah.
and um, so that's what I'm going to do here. Look at this, people. Southern University student dead after off-campus fraternity ritual.
Mm.
When was this? February 27th of 2025.
Just happened.
Where did it happen? North Sherwood Forest Park. A park. Isn't that strange? You know what I said about that, right, Nat?
Yeah, I sure
There
do.
is an ongoing investigation. And yeah, I had to go there. I
You
had to
did.
go there. Was there something going on at Wawawee Park that night? Was there something going on at Wawawee Park that night?
I don't know.
Okay,
Possibly.
either do I.
Very
And
possible.
that's not a fact. That's not. I'm just throwing it out there. Um, it's not even an opinion. I'm just throwing it out there as a question. Did something happen at Wawawee Park? Because when you start talking ritualistic stuff, I mean, you look at this here, Southern University student dead after off-campus fraternity ritual. The
And a lot of
police were
different.
contacted at 3 a.m. Now, isn't that funny?
Uh-huh. See? There's your numbers. There's your
Mhm.
numerology coming into this.
Yep.
Man,
And
Yeah,
man
we
as
need
a
to
brought to
learn
dad,
that
hospital
numerology.
unresponsive. Man brought to hospital unresponsive. Where did it happen? North Sherwood Forest Park in Louisiana. There is an ongoing investigation into this matter. This shit happens. That
Mhm.
is a fact.
yes, and it happens. A lot of rituals happen outside in woods, parks at
Yes.
night
Yes.
because they're in touch with more of mm, the earth. It depends on the ritualism. It depends on the who's doing it. So
Yes.
if
Say
it's not in the
say
basement
that.
of some building,
That
it's in the woods.
right. It's in the woods. That's where they have these rituals. So people were saying, oh, like the fights maybe being down. The fights may be a total different thing. Could be
Hmm.
possibly. Um, I think a there is a dark edge to these
Yes,
crimes, and
100%.
I, and I think it needs to be looked into, and
Yes.
we're doing it. We've done it. We're going that direction. We're going to look at this dark part, and it has to be done. And we'll learn out. And we're trying to stick to facts, people. We really are. We're trying to stick to the facts, and then ask questions, and then ask questions, and then it's up to you to make up your own mind on what you believe. Okay, it's up.
Mhm.
We always try to
Yep.
make it up. It's up to everybody has their opinion. So
Yep.
and that's what we're going to do. We're not going to push stuff on anyone. We're just going to show you the facts and look at it that way. And if we ever speculate, we're going to let you know that we're speculating and it's an opinion and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um Joe P says, Tommy, there's paths in the woods behind Sigma Chi. I saw the actual pics.
She's
I
right. I
wouldn't
saw
doubt
it
that
too.
one bit.
Yep.
Yep, I wouldn't doubt that one bit. Yes, Angela, and I have checked that out. Check out Revelation Tarot's interview with Kaylee. She talks about this. I have seen that. Johnny Knapp thinks the military is it's military related.
Yes.
U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. All I know is this: they're hiding something.
Yes.
And you can tell by the way the prosecution is doing things. You can even tell by the way the judges have acted. You can tell by the law enforcement on their press releases that there is something. And what it would have to be something pretty huge to like block what's there and to confuse people and to cover up. And I know our family here believes that there is definitely a cover up of some sort going on. And I believe there is too. And guess who else does? Ann Taylor. So we're not going into a lot of people don't want us to talk about this. And
No.
you know, and but you know me and the channel, we're gonna look into it. We're definitely gonna look into it because we look at everything, but we're gonna look at it on the factual side. So
I'd like to learn about numerology too.
Yes, and I think that's coming up.
I can help you out with that. I can help you out with numerology.
Yes.
Yeah, we can add a show on that too.
Yes.
Because it's in Idaho 4.
You can tie it in with the Idaho 4.
Right. Exactly, Angela. We need to talk about it and at least expose it and let people make up their own damn minds on it.
Yep.
And Hoffy Master, exactly. There's never enough questions, and we have to question everything. So I don't care if other channels get mad at me and email me and say you shouldn't be talking about this, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I don't care. Because people need to hear this.
They do. And I don't care what they say either anymore. I never cared anyway. So not anymore. I just never cared. It's too bad. But things need to be, no, not things. Everything needs to be looked at and exposed, even what we're talking about tonight and moving forward.
Right. And I want to say that you heard it here first. Did something happen at Wawa Wee Park? You heard it here first. And I'm bringing that question up. Did something happen at Wawa Wee Park? Why was Brian Kohlberger driving around and going to Wawa Wee Park? Yeah, Bethany, who got a DUI there in August or whatever it was at Wawa Wee Park. So apparently they know Wawa Wee Park pretty well. And they like parks to do these rituals. So was there something going on at Wawa Wee Park? And that's a big question I have. And I don't know. I'm not saying that something did. I'm just wondering, did something happen at Wawa Wee Park? After I read that, and it said Sherwood National Forest or whatever, park, I'm going, oh God. And I called somebody and Nat, you were there.
Yeah.
And I threw that out there. And you're going, oh my God, no.
I know. I was like, oh my, yeah. I do. Well, as far as where you're going with it, I mean, I'm not surprised, but it's wow, just one more avenue.
Right. And I think some people understand why we need to go there, but we're going to have people that don't understand why we're and
Yeah.
thinking, oh, it's all just conspiracy theory. No, it isn't.
No, it's
We just
not.
showed you some fact. We showed you facts of what's going on. There is ritual books. There is, and it started hundreds of years ago, whatever. But what has it evolved into? And that's what we have to ask ourselves. What has it evolved into? And has other organizations gotten their hands on like the fraternities and sororities?
They are influenced by the Freemasons heavily.
Yeah. And that's your opinion, correct? Not
No, it's not an opinion.
okay.
I read that today.
Right. Okay. And we're going to get into that, I think, in part 2, right? Is that correct? I think.
Yes.
I think that's coming up. And yeah, some Masons are involved, and in certain fraternities and sororities. And you have to look at the whole picture because this case is very broad and it's very huge and it's very complicated. It's not just Brian Kohlberger went in with a knife and unalived 4 people. I'm sorry, that did not happen. It did not happen.
I mean, impossible.
Yes,
Impossible.
Caroline.
Right.
Yes, it was.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, that's what we have for tonight. And again, this is part 1 of part 3. I'm thinking it's going to be Wednesday and Friday. We're hoping that Birdie will be on Friday night. We'll see what happens with that. And then next week, oh God, I'm really excited for those shows coming up. But we got some stuff lined up for you guys that are just going to be, it's crazy. And I do believe I'm going to have They Live involved in next week's shows.
Oh, good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, there's Birdie's YouTube channel. I know he's not big on YouTube yet or anything, but he's huge on TikTok.
Yeah.
When he ran his first show on the Idaho 4, he had I think it was 679,000 views or something like that. Crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So I'm right. So yes, and he does go live on TikTok. And,
yeah, he goes live every night, I think, on TikTok.
Yes, so you can check him out. There is, yeah, thank you, Coco. There's his TikTok right there. And make sure you watch some of his stuff, then you'll know where we're kind of coming from and why we want him as a guest, which he's already confirmed. We just don't know the date. So we're hoping it's going to be Friday. That's what we're hoping for. So anyway, good job tonight, you gals. I love what you did and the research that you did and the research of the mod investigations, which again is the best investigators out there. Love you, girls.
Aw. Well, thank you, Tommy, and thank you for the opportunity. Yeah. And thank you, Leah, for sharing the panel.
Thank you.
Right. Yes. And I got a special song that kind of fits, at least the title fits tonight. Yeah. I had to find something, right? Something new and something that fit. So I do got that as an outro. So yeah. Anyway, thank you girls very much. I love you gals, and we shall see you soon. See you soon. And
Yep.
till next time, right, girls?
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
Rock and
See you later.
roll.
Yep. Okay, there we go. That was our Monday night show, the rituals. And like I said, we're going to get into this, and it's going to get more interesting as we go along, and a little darker as we go along. And that's the way it's going to go. And right now, it looks like Wednesday and Friday night. Hopefully, Birdie will be on Friday, and he'll be a great guest. He knows a lot about this, the darker kind of stuff. So that's what we wanted to do was just touch on it tonight. Just touch on it, and that's what we did. So I want to thank my mod investigators. You are the best in the world. I love you very much. And to the other investigators out there, thank you very much. You do excellent work. And to my subs, I love you all. You're what makes it possible. So, and the chatters, you guys are awesome. It's always an awesome chat. And I hope you like the new song I played earlier by They Live. Okay. I don't know if I got them in. I might have forgot to put them in the description. I'll do that later. But everybody knows They Live. Everybody knows him. So, and he does excellent songs. Anyway, so until next time, rock and roll.
It's alright. 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 It's alright.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our cover of So Cold by Breaking Benjamin. If you want to show some extra support like our friend Kieran Hurst, click the link in the description to join our Patreon.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify where you can find this song and all of our other covers and originals.
Remember to check out our website, first11.com, where you can find physical copies.
Black crow in the night, shadows dance on the ground. Whispers of the cold wind, they sing stories of grief. Red eyes stare from the top of the abyss. Black wings of silence, they tell stories never seen before. Fly high, dark crow, take the pain from this place. In your feathers all the weights of endless secrets. The eternal cry of the dead, echoes of despair. Sharp beak brings with it the harbinger of doom. Fly high, dark crow, take the pain from this place. In your feathers all the weights of endless secrets. There is no light in this corner, only the crow on the balcony. What does it reveal to those who see it? The truth is that no one believes. Fly high, dark crow, take the pain from this place. In your feathers all the weights of endless secrets. There is no light in this corner, only the crow on the balcony. What does it reveal to those who see it? The truth is that no one believes. There's no light in this corner, only the crow on the balcony. What does it address to those who see it? The truth is that no one believes.
Blood on their hands, a serpent's breath, four shadows left in a house of death. A pack of wolves in a kangaroo court. Truth gets lost in a locked report. Moscow after midnight, blood on the rail. Every liar's hand on the killer's veil. The truth's a ghost in a phantom crowd. No one's innocent with silence this loud. Frat boys swear on a broken vow. Pied this loud?